Hi, Jenna. Come on in.
Well, hello.
Hi.
Is it Alex or Alexander?
Alex is perfectly fine, thank you. I think like Alexander in my accent is a little bit too pretentious.
But it sounds very distinguished.
It does sound distinguished, yes. Alexander.
Alexander.
Yeah,
or was that when you were in trouble with your mum?
Yeah, that was in trouble. That was definitely in trouble at school and everything. Yeah, I'd love to have like a northern accent because then I feel like Alexander. That sounds quite.
Alexander.
Do you know what I mean? It sounds quite nice. Or even like Xander could work, but Xander. No,
you're right.
Doesn't work.
And these are the things you've got to think of.
You do, absolutely.
Your brand.
Absolutely.
Let's do a cheers, please, before we do anything else. Because what I normally do is I get so into the conversation and then the food goes cold and then we have it at the end and it's gross. So I want to, before anything else, tuck into this.
Absolutely.
So what have you ordered for us?
So here we've got a Welsh rarebit toastie, I believe, with some fries. Lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah, no, I saw it on the menu and I thought, I haven't had that in years.
Yeah.
My dad used to make it quite a lot, actually. Not a good version, like just tons of marmite and cheese. But I haven't had it in a while, so I thought...
Fantastic. And then we've got a pint.
And a pint, yeah.
And an extra sexy beer. Boys.
Absolutely.
Which the lovely gentleman who served us told me that it's a project to promote queer and gay fine art photography.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a foundation.
Yeah, Stonewall, yeah.
For every bottle sold, a donation is made to Stonewall Housing. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Really beautiful.
Yeah, that is fantastic. And I love the branding. I'm a branding sucker.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I absolutely love that.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Well, cheers.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And congratulations, I have to say, on your new movie.
Thank you.
A Night Like This. Is that
That's correct, yeah.
Even though I've watched it, I still want to say a night like... I keep
like something, yeah, like that.
Exactly. So, yeah, I've been fortunate enough to watch it, and it's fantastic.
Thank you.
But for those who haven't seen it, can you just give us a quick little, like, synopsis?
Yes.
Yeah, take a go.
It is, I guess really it's about loneliness. It's about these two characters, both at very different stages of their lives, but both very broken in their own way. They sort of spend a night together and they, I suppose, see each other for the first time, really. It's about two people, two strangers, actually seeing each other, sort of becoming each other's therapists in a way. And yeah, it would throughout the film sort of bring out something deep within them and help them to realise something about themselves.
It's very moving.
Oh, good.
I have to say. And one thing that really struck me when watching it, and I hope you take this as a compliment because it certainly meant that way.
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching a play that had been adapted for screen. And the reason why, and sort of segue here. You know the amazing film, is it The Whale?
Yes.
That guy whose name...
Brendan Fraser.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That got the Oscar. Obviously, that was a play adapted for screen. I didn't know that ignorantly before I watched it. And I came away...
Nor me, to be fair.
Okay, that makes me feel better. I came away thinking, gosh, I felt like I'd just watched a play. And I had the same feeling after watching this. And the reason is, when I kind of unpacked it, because you're in the sort of same outfits throughout... And whilst London itself is the backdrop and becomes a character, very much so, but it is very much about you two, and there's big lengthy chunks of dialogue, and it's shot very close frame with very few establishing shots, like the intimacy between the two of you.
Yeah. And
for a film to be able to carry itself without the trimmings of, set design and costume and all these other distractions is quite incredible, I think. So whoever's responsible for that, please pass the message on. Jenna approves.
Absolutely.
I was very impressed.
Thank you. I so appreciate it.
But yeah, that was my sort of real insight. And I had no idea as well that you were such a gifted singer.
Yes, well,
and guitar player.
Absolutely, multifaceted. Yeah, the guitar thing is an interesting one, because when I first got the script, and Diego, who's the writer and producer, came to me and told me about the character and that I need to play guitar, he said, "Do you play?" I said yes. I didn't at the time.
You're joking.
No. But we had, I think it was like 3 months to until we were shooting. So I told him just before we met, actually, he said, "You need to play guitar." And I was like, "Oh, well, serendipitously, I've actually just started lessons." And he was like, "Fantastic. You don't need to be good." So I relied on that quite heavily.
Oh, okay.
And then I had 3 months to sort of learn. Johnny Martin, our composer, wrote a really beautiful, well, he wrote all the music, which is really, really beautiful. But one particular song that I play in the pub.
Yep.
Or the, what was it called? The
tavern.
The tavern.
The moonshine.
The moonshine.
We should both know this.
I know.
I mean, you were bloody.
I know. It's really good. You should find it for yourselves.
Yeah.
And there's a song that I play in it, and Johnny wrote this, and it's so beautiful. And I remember meeting up with Johnny, and he's a guitar player. Well, he's a musician. He could do everything. And so he sent me the sort of music, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not great. I'm not, He's like, "That's okay. We'll work it out." And I got there and I started to play. This was like 2 months from shooting. And he was like, okay. Well, look, what I think we can do is we'll do the shots and, we'll do an establisher and then we'll sort of just cut you above and you won't have to play guitar. And I was like, that sounds great. Thank you, Johnny. But actually on the day, apart from my voice being a little bit raspy because of a cold that I'd had, it actually worked out really well. So it was a really wonderful experience to sort of just learn a new skill, really. Because acting can be I've said this a lot of times, and I think it's true, generally speaking, that you're so focused on acting as a thing that you don't really learn anything else. Like, I haven't. I have no other skills. Because I've been so focused on this thing.
I see.
And succeeding in this thing. I hadn't got anything else, which is why guitar was such a big part of it. I was always wanted to play, never did, and now it's a thing. I'm not good still, but it's nice.
But you can do it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to learn.
Is it true that a lot of actors, or have I literally nicking this from like a friend's reference or something? But do you have on your resume that you can horse ride and you can joust and do archery, and it's all complete bollocks? You can't do any of it.
Absolutely.
I can speak 7 languages.
Yeah.
All these dialects.
I got 10 actually.
10. 10. With this role, and you've come off the back of an incredible theatre experience with the wonderful Billy Porter, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then the film prior to that, remind me again, my brain, with the rugby.
Oh, In From the Side.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
So you are obviously drawn to these narratives that, cover sort of, queer cinema and gay relationships, and telling a story of sort of marginalised love or love against the odds.
Yeah.
What is it about those stories that resonate with you, or that appeal to you, or that those scripts that have landed on your desk and you've gone, yeah, okay, I feel like I can do this?
Yeah. That's a really nice question. I mean, I think it's never been necessarily about the story necessarily. It's always about the character, and a lot of the queer stories that I've done, and not like this being very much one of them, because that's more like a sort of, I suppose, a bisexual story or a pan story rather than just gay, which In From the Side was. And I don't know, I feel akin to these characters in a way, or at least there's something about the complexity of these characters that I've played so far that rings true and that resonates with me. And so it's less about the story itself, but more about the character's journey within that story, really. Yeah. Where they start from, where they end up, what's that sort of trajectory, is what I'm more drawn to. And I really like that part of it.
What I think I've read an interview that you'd said about A Night Like This in particular, that it is a love story. However, there's, spoiler alert, no sex.
Yes.
And what you said about that I have thought was really beautiful, because when I think a lot of gay love stories, that's a big focus. But with this one, it isn't. And in the absence of that act, you actually kind of, the bond the chemistry, the vulnerability really comes through. Again, is that sort of a conscious thing? When you were looking at the script, did you kind of notice that there's no sex scene or anything, but it interested you?
Yeah. Because I think like as you say, a lot of queer cinema. I mean, look, sex is a huge part of all of our lives.
Well, if you're lucky.
Well, if you're lucky,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. It can be months or years, but anyway, it's such a huge part of it, and so that I feel like that story needs to be told in most stories, right? That aspect to it is always a big part of like a relationship, whatever it might be. But what I really liked about A Night Like This was that it was. I mean, when do you have two strangers meeting and having a connection and following through with a night of connection without the sexual component? You don't.
Not in my humble experience.
Well, no, and nor mine. And I think that's really beautiful. And I think, like, in this day and age where it's all so driven between connectivity with social media and stuff, but we're more disconnected than ever. And I just feel like that's something that you really don't see anymore. And I wonder if it was more of a thing, back in the day. I'm not going like, oh, well, look at the good old days or whatever, because a lot of things were wrong then as well. But I don't know, I feel like we're losing a sense of like that connectedness. And as far as A Night Like This goes, I think like often, well, for me anyway, the intimacy of two strangers meeting and not necessarily engaging in the sexual component of it, even though there is like moments of romantic.
There's chemistry.
Yeah, there's certainly chemistry.
Don't not go and see it now because you're hoping for like a sex romp.
Yeah.
It's still.
Well, there is the B-roll on the end after the credits scene, you see. And what I really love about it is that I think that intimacy that you get with the film, with these two strangers meeting and really seeing each other, is actually more intimate than a lot of the sexual components of films that you often see anyway. And I think that's really interesting. And I don't think many films do that.
No.
Many stories don't do that. And like there's a lot of sexually driven storylines. Which again have their place and need to be told. But I think with A Night Like This, there's a real beauty in the absence of that, as you said.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm really conscious of not saying too much because I don't want to spoil things for people that haven't seen it. But you've seen this short. You see the kiss. People know there's a kiss, right?
People do know there's a kiss.
I think that kiss is all the more beautiful because of that, and you take a long time to get there, and it's incredibly charged and romantic and longing, and it's wonderful. Like, what was a scene like that? How do you kind of prepare for something like that to make sure that you have that chemistry and that buzz and that tingle? And it feels like for us as the audience, that's the first daring kind of line that's been crossed. How do you prepare for something like that?
I think it's interesting because, like, it really depends on who you're working with, to be honest.
Oh, I can imagine.
Because like, imagine you. I mean, I've been very fortunate in my career. I've liked everyone that I've worked with.
Really?
Is that true?
Yeah. Come on.
No, I think it is. I think it is actually.
Well,
there's been no one that I've like not really got on with, which has been lovely. And with like the romantic aspect to it, there's been no one that I've not got on with in that way, which has been lovely. So I think a lot of people think that like you're really getting into the grips of like why you're kissing at this moment, what happens, and this and that. And I don't know. There is a place for that, but I think for me it's more just like there's a playfulness and like an innateness of it. Like it just sort of it happened, and it really made sense for these two characters to do that at that point. And we shot more or less, did we, in chronological order? I think.
Really, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's not common. Sorry, the beer's going down wonderfully.
I'm like a trooper, just so you know. Hopefully you're picking up on all of that.
Yeah, exactly. But so yeah, we shot more or less, if I'm right. I mean, I'm sure Diego will tell me that I'm completely wrong, or Jack for that matter. But in my memory, we shot sort of in order. So yeah, I mean, I think with me and Jack and the intimacy and like all of that kind of stuff, like it just sort of worked from the start.
Yeah.
We had a lot of time to rehearse and go about all the intricacies of our relationship and where we would go with it. And me and Jack get on really well, so it just sort of made it, frankly, quite easy.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That, I mean, with anything, right? If you're
Yeah.
with the right people,
Absolutely.
it's just,
Less work, the better.
yeah, exactly. And speaking of the right people, then, I mentioned him before, Billy Porter. I'm massively fangirl over Billy Porter, so forgive me.
Me too.
But yeah, great. How was that experience? Like, is he everything that I hope he is?
Everything you see of Billy,
Yeah.
he is. Like, I've genuinely never met anyone like it. I may never again. He's like so of himself the entire time. You know, he's rageful, he's joyous, he's happy, he's sad, you know, all of it. And it was really amazing to have him through that process, because like we only had 2 weeks to get it up, which is insane, FYI. Two-hander, you know, American. Yeah, it was a lot. My first play as well.
So hang on, from the point of getting the script to first show is 2 weeks.
For Amari, yes. For me, well, no, sorry. From Amari, we got the scripts like a month before, but by the time we got to the first read through, the script had inevitably changed, of course. And Harrison, who's the writer.
The writer, yeah.
He is incredible. Like I love him to pieces. And he was there throughout the whole process, and because Harrison was there, and he's so like forward minded, and he's also very giving as a playwright as well, which is, you don't, in my limited experience, you don't get often. It's very much like the words are the words, but what he would do a lot, which I can't think of enough for, is like change how we were saying or add certain things, which was brilliant.
During the rehearsal process?
Yes, and it did mean that the 2 weeks became like, oh my Christ, I have no idea what's going on here, and doing this and doing that. But it made the piece so much more alive and better. And Billy, being who he is, really made it sing, because it's such a personal story to him. You know, it's very much about activism, about BLM. About rights, you know, and I think he really felt akin, you know, to the play and to the context of it, and it was really beautiful to share that experience with him.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad, because you know they say you should never meet your heroes, but I'm really pleased you tell me he's fabulous. Because
he is. He really is.
Just really gravitate towards him. We've invited him on the show.
Have you?
We have invited him on the show, so it may happen.
Oh, I hope so.
In New York.
Yes, yeah, he was doing Broadway, literally straight after press night. That's one thing about plays that I can't really get my head around, is that, like, you know, you work with all these creatives for however long, and then press night comes and they go, "See you later," and you're like,
so you're telling me you don't have him on speed dial?
I do, but he's been so busy.
You've
he hasn't
got
gone back
to nurture that. Just,
I know.
Checking every now.
Absolutely, no, I have been.
Yeah,
I have been.
Yeah.
But yes, he was doing Cabaret like almost immediately after.
Oh, that came after that. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to see him in Cabaret, and I just didn't.
Yeah. So he was doing it here, and the reason why we had such a short rehearsal period was because he had to then go off to do Cabaret again in the States.
Oh, okay.
So it was very much gung ho, and like, as my first piece, I mean, I don't, touch wood, I don't think I'll have a more intense like theatre experience, to be honest, because, you know, again, two-hander, American accent, West End, small theatre, 2 weeks, with, you know, Harrison doing rewrites of the script. And again, this is nothing against Harrison. I think it made it better, and it made it. And what's lovely as well is myself and Amari and Billy are all sort of like named in the new version of the script, which is really beautiful. Because it's lovely to like work with people and collaborate in that way. And,
that don't necessarily led by ego, but they're more driven by the end result.
Exactly.
And the art.
Yeah, the art for the art's sake, and
Okay, I didn't realise that was your first theatre experience. So
more or less.
How is that something you want to do more of?
Absolutely, yeah. No, I loved it.
I want to take you back to the beginning now, if you don't mind. So, did you always want to get into this industry? Like when you were a kid, or, you know, what was it that you dreamed of, and kind of how did this all come about?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't really.
Big question.
Yeah, big question. It's
Does
weird.
it suit
Like,
my pint while
yeah.
I ponder that. How do I look with a pint? Does it suit me?
You look wonderful with it. You enjoying it? Or...
It's good. It's
there.
going down beautiful.
I didn't realise that whatever I ordered, you would also have.
Oh,
so that's on me.
Not at all.
But good to see you're taking it on.
Taking one for the team.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like some. I'll go off to come back around.
Yeah.
My mum's really, really spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Like tarot card readings and
Ooh.
all that kind of stuff. I was never really that into it. But one thing that she never did, which a lot of my friends now do now, is manifesting. And I was always like, I never really...
I'm a big manifester.
But this is it, right? So I never really was. More recently now, I'm definitely into it. And it's only in hindsight that I sort of like realised, much like the play, I'd wanted to do a play, but I was terrified of doing it. And then it came and then did it, you know. But with acting, weirdly enough, when I was in... I mean, I was in a school plays and stuff when I was young, because I grew up in Abu Dhabi in the UAE.
Oh, wow.
And we had like a big school play on and stuff there. Year sixes weren't allowed to be in a secondary school play, but I got the lead, so whatever. I still
breaking the rules.
I still want to find that video in my mum's video collection and like get it digitized, because like I bet it's the most horrible thing, and it would probably make me think, oh my Christ, I should never have become an actor. But yeah, and so I did that, and it was always in the background. And then when I came back to the UK, I think it was in like, it probably wasn't IT, but some subject we were in, you had to talk about like what you wanted to become. And I played a lot of rugby, and my two choices were, the first one was professional rugby player, which I'm still waiting for that call.
Yeah.
And then the other one was an actor. So really, it's always been there. I'd never like necessarily thought of myself as like acting, weirdly, but it was there. I wrote it down. My mum's got it somewhere. So it's always been a thing that I've obviously wanted to do. And then me and my two best friends, Connor and Jamie, we started a film company years ago. And I stepped away to become an actor, like an idiot. And they're going on and doing like all these films and stuff, which is brilliant. And we're still really connected. And it's just lovely to see all of the things we wanted to do when we were kids, sort of we're doing. And it's like, you know, it never happens. And I think to have that with the three of us is a really, really beautiful thing, sort of full circle moment. Do
you think then, as you kind of progress in your career, would you be interested in getting into writing, directing, like other aspects of the industry?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, writing, to be honest, was always a thing I wanted to do as well. When we started the film company, that was the main sort of draw. And acting sort of came because I also liked attention. And what job can you do where you get more? No. So did that. And then, and I'm still writing and have been developing a few projects for the last like 10 years.
Are you working on a horror at the moment?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah. So we just got a little bit of funding to do a short film, which we will use as sort of proof of concept for the feature. But yeah, it's really exciting actually. It's really fun, like cult horror sort of thing.
Do you have to be brave to watch it? I'm not good with horror normally.
It's more like, it's less like jump scares, but more like a sort of psychological thing.
Yeah,
folklore.
Sort of thing that will haunt you for the rest of your days.
Exactly. You won't be able to sleep in a dark room for years to come.
Fantastic. Sign me up.
So yeah, I'm trying to do a lot more writing, but obviously when acting comes along, it's like it's a lot to.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I imagine it's all encompassing.
Yeah, a little bit.
For a role. And,
yeah. You can't do much.
It will come. Like look at Billy, he's doing bloody.
He's doing everything.
As you have evolved and your career's developed, has there been any mentors in your life or any, I don't know, words of advice that someone ahead of you in the industry has given you that's kind of stuck with you or guided your path in any way?
It's an interesting one. I can't remember who said it to me.
Yeah.
But it was really, really early on. And I can't remember exactly what they said, but essentially the bare line was authenticity. Like just being, you know, unapologetically you, whether that's unprofessional or, you know, stupid or like childish or whatever. Not necessarily describing myself right now.
It's
I
me,
think,
isn't it? You're describing me.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's that. I think, you know, yes, it gets thrown around a lot, like be yourself, be authentic, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like that can get misconstrued as like you can own, especially with acting, you can only play exactly what you are, which I find fundamentally silly, because it's acting. But I think the idea of at least living your truest self to yourself, not the world, not the cameras necessarily, or Instagram, all that kind of stuff, that as well,
Yeah.
but also just for yourself, like living authentically as you, I think is something that's really important, and something that someone told me years ago that you try and implement as much as you can. But, you know, careers, things, opinions, society, like things try and change you and take you out of this box or put you into a box and
Yeah.
put you into that, put you into that. And actually, you know, I think fundamentally we're just humans and we're all different facets of a thing.
Yeah.
And the changing aspect to you is a very important aspect. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
really, really do.
you commit to
Have it,
something,
yeah.
and it's like, doesn't mean that's who you are forever.
Yeah.
You know, you can change.
Yes.
And I think it's important to realise that you can,
Yeah.
and to, you know, do that. And if you're wrong, apologise for it, you know.
We're all human, aren't we? I think we've just got to give each other a break sometimes.
Yeah.
And just know that we're all on our own little journeys. It's our first time.
Yeah.
It's all of our first time
Yes,
here
yes,
on this earth.
Yeah.
So to end, I want to know, like, so you can manifest this and I can help you. What would be your fantasy kind of next step? So if it was a project or to work with a particular director or actor, what would that be? Take a beat, because you've got to put it out there. Because when Harry came here, he said he wanted to be Green Arrow.
Oh, Arrow. Yes.
And we're making that happen for him.
Okay, wicked.
We're like campaigning for that. So what's your like?
I think for me, like, I've always loved like fantasy stuff, whether that's swords and shields or like or space and whatever. And there's a really, really, really cool show called Foundation on Apple TV that I like. I love it, and I desperately want to get on something like that. Okay. Or like a fantasy show. I mean, there's that new what's it called now? It's like the prequel to Game of Thrones, I think.
Oh, House of Dragons.
No, yeah, but it's like a new one in that world, but it's like very, very new. I can't remember the name of it. But something like that with swords and shields. I don't think I've got a particular project, but I'd love to do some more fight stuff.
Oh,
some real like swords.
So you can add that to your resume.
Exactly, yeah, swordplay
on there?
Swordplay is not on there actually. I've not managed to go that far with the lying yet. Yeah, exactly. It can't be that difficult, can it?
You need to be in. Producer Laura's obsessed with this series, and she's not going to mind me saying it and putting it out there. It's called, well, the people in the know call it ACOTAR.
ACOTAR.
It's like short for A Court of Thorn and Roses or something. I mean, it's culty.
Oh, yeah?
People going fucking nuts for it.
Really?
And it's all like bats and shagging and fairy shagging.
Amazing.
Or, not making it all about shagging, but people
people want what they want.
Yeah, they want what they want. But it's like a whole series.
Amazing.
I think Disney bought the rights.
Okay.
And then, like, it's happening.
Oh, wicked. Okay.
So you could be like one of the sexy bat slayers.
I could be a sexy bat slayer, absolutely.
ACOTAR.
Laura, I'm making that happen.
For making it happen. Put in the call, ACOTAR. And I just want a bit part just so that we can hang out on set.
Oh, yeah.
So it might be like fairy number 3.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Slightly middle-aged.
No.
Highly anxious.
Yeah.
Fairy number 3. In the background. Yeah,
that'll probably be my part as well, actually.
Great.
Yeah, lovely.
Well,
Let's manifest that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Cheers. Let's bookend this.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
See you on set.
See you on set.